Welcome. I'm happy to be out here in my outdoor studio today. And I invite you just to kind of soak it in. If you're not able to take your practice outside, I want you just to try and tune into the vibes of this magical place that I am in. Anytime we can allow ourselves just to kind of step out of our regular day-to-day living and into something different, it's really impactful and really allows us to grow and expand. So today, just to kind of assist us in that idea of being able to transition into new experiences and be able to stay open to new experiences and be able to handle them with a little more ease. Maybe you're starting a new job. Maybe you're stepping out and into, a new school. Maybe you're stepping into a new relationship. Whatever that transition or shift is in your life, we can use rosemary oil to assist us in that. So when we can really use our rosemary oil, it's going to help us to really find that ability to adjust with more ease and a little more support. So if you have some rosemary, I invite you to take a drop. I'm going to put a little bit between my palms and just onto the nape of my neck, a little bit in behind my ears, and then take some nice deep, slow breaths to really allow the aroma to settle us into that feeling of, safety. And it's okay knowing that whatever transition or shift or change is happening in your life, we don't always have to understand it. We just have to know that it's here for a reason. It's here to teach us something. It's here to move us along further in our lives. It's here for whatever reason. We don't always need to know what that reason is. We just need to know that that it's for the greater good. Good. So allow yourself to start stilling into this place within you. When we can connect into that inner realm, into that inner world, that's where we start to really find that feeling of trust, that feeling of connection, and that deeper knowing that everything is playing out and working out as it needs to. Even if it's not necessarily working out the way we think it should or we want it to, there's always this kind of greater intelligence or greater influence happening in behind the scenes that we might not always understand, and that's okay. So start to take that attention to your body and to the way you're feeling on a deeper level, emotionally and mentally, energetically. Take your attention to your breathing. Even the breath in itself, as we start to work with our letting go with every in-breath, so we really fill the pelvic bowl in all directions and really relax all those muscles so we can indeed fill it completely. That action of us letting go and working on that ability to relax into that and find that greater flexibility to just kind of let it come, let the in-breath come. And then that slight inward, upward engagement with the out-breath. The pelvic floor drawing in and up and the low navel drawing in and up as well. Okay, so I really just want you to focus on that expansion today. We're going to work with both the expansion and contraction, but every in-breath, just really notice that ability to release, kind of to let go of your holdings, to let go of that feeling of, unsureness or, we've been told so many times throughout our lives, like, suck in your belly and stay strong and, keep your core engaged. Yes, we need the strength here, but we need to be able to let that go. And it goes beyond just this muscular contraction, obviously. So let's just take about 3 more deep breaths, noticing what else is coming if you've been using your rosemary oil this morning. Maybe this sense of greater clarity. This feeling of openness and acceptance to new experiences. Good, one more breath. Beautiful. Let's bring the palms down to the ground just beside you and start to push down through the palms, giving a little lift up of your heart, a slight lift of your gaze. Just feel yourself getting nice and long and open through the front body. If you want to take that a little bit further, you're going to sit your hands a little further back behind you so you can start pushing down into the palms and rooting down through your feet and ankles and knees and lifting the pubic bone right to the sky. Take a nice full breath here as you're opening through the front body, maybe trusting that it's okay to lay your head back if you don't have any restrictions or issues happening in your neck. Take another full inhalation. And with the exhalation, we'll set the seat back down and push ourselves forward with the fingertips coming back to neutral spine. So let's take the legs into the opposite cross. If they need a little release first, you can always kind of roll out the ankles, shake out the legs, whatever you need, and then cross the opposite direction. So outside leg is now on the inside. I'm going to set the hands on the knees and start with a moment to again open. So we're drawing the elbows and shoulders down, lifting up, taking a nice deep inhale and exhale. And with your next out breath, you can round your tail under here. Guide your chin in toward your chest, press back. Let your arms be nice and long so the shoulder blades can gently draw away from one another. Feel that sensation of contraction through the front body. And then that feeling now of openness as you draw the elbows down, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Nice big breath in. We'll take that again. Exhale, round the tail under, chin to chest. And elbows down, heart lifting, gaze lifting. Inhale. One more time. Exhale, rounding. We're going to take a little extra time here this time, maybe some little sways side to side. And as you start to draw the elbows down, lift the heart, lift the gaze up, a nice deep breath in. Taking this again, whether you're staying here, hands to the knees, maybe palms rooting down toward the ground just to give you a little more length and lift. Again, you have that option to take it a little further and push down, palms a little further behind you. Feeling that support of the ground, that feeling of you pushing down through the earth and it giving you this opposite energy to guide your pubic bone up. Good. We'll place our seat back to the earth, slowly allowing that head to lift up last. Before we leave our seat, let's touch the fingertips down along beside us. And we'll draw the right arm up into the sky. Give that wrist a little roll in either direction. And then only if you're needing it, you're tipping over to your left side, gently, not lifting through the sitting bones, keeping them rooted, lengthening through the fingertips, keeping the shoulder rolling back, or taking one more breath. Good. As you inhale and come up, we're taking that hand in the sky and setting it onto the left knee and taking the left hand behind you. So a nice moment to sit tall again. Breath in. Exhale, give that gentle twist toward your left. Always letting your gaze turn last. We'll take our in-breath, come all the way back to center, fingertips back to either side. We'll take the left arm up the midline, give a roll of the wrist. And if it's feeling needed, once you've lengthened through that left arm, right up through the fingers, you might decide to tip a little bit over to your right side. Push down into that right hand to rise back up. Hand that's in the sky is coming to the right knee. Left hand, your right hand is behind you, sorry. Sit up nice and tall again. Breath in. Exhale, twisting to your right side. Breath in, guiding you back towards center. Here you can extend your legs out for a moment, roll out your ankles. Maybe your legs want a full extension. Just kind of feel it feels right. Maybe you can play with turning on your belly as I am. Just leaning back and finding a little balance on your sit bones here. You might support yourself with the fingers a little bit. Just play with a little bit of core engagement and balance as you're releasing the legs. All right, let's come on to the hands and the knees. So once you've made your way to your table posture, fingers are spreading wide as always. I'm going to allow the toes to tuck under slightly here and start to feel that action of you, again, rooting down. So you feel that firm connection to the earth. And the more you push down through your palms and fingers, the more you push down through your tucked toes, the more you're going to feel yourself engaging a little bit here. Then I want you to see where you can still find some softness, still find some ease. I'm going to keep rooting down here for another 3 breaths. You might feel you want to take it a little more and lift the knees off of the mat, just slightly, an inch or so. Good, we're moving our way up and back into downward facing dog. When you arrive, give yourself a little time to move the body. Pedal out your feet a few times. Bringing lots of ease into your neck as you look back at the knees. We'll take another 2 full breaths. And we'll start to move their gaze forward and start the journey to the top of the mat. So I want you to try and feel the transitions between postures. So really feel yourself making your way forward and that bend of the knees into a forward bend. Hands coming to the shins or the thighs as you lengthen the spine, coming to flat back. And that feeling of surrendering again as you bend the knees. Exhale, relax. Bowing down. Hands to shins or thighs again. Breath in. Broaden the chest. Reach through the crown. And exhale, bend the knees and fold. One last time. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to fold. I'm coming all the way up to stand. I want you to take about 3 breaths at least in this. Don't rush the journey. Pay close attention to how it feels. Start from noticing your pelvis and pushing from the pelvis down into the big and small toe mounds in the center of both heels evenly. So those 3 points are bearing the weight. Rest of the body stay nice and relaxed, but you're starting to feel as you root down, your legs starting to lengthen. And feel and invite that inward upward lift through the core, so you feel nice and strong and supported as the pelvis comes to neutral. When your heart starts to lift and open up, we're touching the backs of the palms together and guiding the arms up through the midline, right up into the sky, still rooting down through the feet. I want you to feel that opposing energy of you reaching for the sky. Feel all this length, all this space. And we'll float the arms back and down and allow them to rest at your sides or together at your heart. Coming to notice your breath here for a few cycles. Take another full inhale. With the exhale, bend the knees and come back down into your forward bend. We're going to rise up into chair pose. So prepare your feet, whether they're hip distance or big toe mounds are touching for more challenge. We'll allow the knees to stay bent as much as they're willing as the weight settles into the 3 points in both feet. We're taking the arms through the midline and into the sky. Feeling again that, balance here between this feeling of strength yet ease. Exhale, notice the transition as you come back down into your forward fold. Plant the palms and step your feet back into downward dog. So I want you to notice, which foot did you step back with? It's probably your dominant foot, so just notice that. We'll take a moment here, one more breath. Taking your bend into the knees, we'll draw the right heel up with the inhale. Exhale. Let's see if we can take the knee toward the nose for a moment. And then feel that transition as you shift your hips back, right heel again to the sky. Exhale, engage the core, knee to the nose for a moment. Feel all your strength. Inhale, one last time, up to the sky. Exhale toward the nose, look to that right thumb. Again, don't rush the transition. Feel the whole journey. We'll allow the back knee to bend. Front knee is bent. We're rooting into both of these feet. Feeling the strength through both of the legs. Taking the arms up the midline. If the space is there, you're going to invite the back leg to lengthen a little more. Keeping the back heel lifted as we stay in our high lunge. So all the places you feel you can relax, mainly your face here. Invite that to stay soft. Now we're going to draw in and up through the pelvic floor, in and up through the belly. And see if we can start to lean forward over the front leg. It might just be a slight lean. You might feel like you can come to quite an angle. Just feel that transition again, more weight settling into the front leg, but still using that back leg for support. Good, let's send the hands onto our front thigh. Step your back foot far enough forward you can connect the heel down and invite the front leg to lengthen out. Right, so just see how that feels. You might feel you need to create still a slight bend in the front knee, and that's okay. Ensure that if your leg is long, it's not hyper extended. You still do have a slight bend here. Keeping one more breath, nice and long in the spine. And we'll exhale, begin the journey into a fold. If you choose, you can always stay in that flat back if you prefer. Fingertips might decide to come down to the ground. If you want a little more challenge in your balance, reach the fingers back. You might bend the back knee enough that you can interlace your fingers behind the back thigh and then lengthen out the back leg again. One more breath. And we'll release the fingers, framing the front foot. Step your back foot back enough. Again, you can come down into a lunge, and we'll set the back knee down this time. Untuck the back toes, roll the shoulders back. You might lift your heart a little bit, gaze forward. Make sure you're pushing down through the top of your back foot so you don't feel too much weight in the back knee. If you feel you'd like to move a little higher, hands can come to your thigh. You might choose to go a little further still and send the arms into the sky. If you really want to work on opening up the heart here, send the fingers back and down, lifting heart and gaze upward. You might go a little bit further and interlace your fingers together behind you also. Let's enjoy another full breath. And as you release your hands, frame your front foot with the fingers, lift up the back knee if you want to. It's your decision. You can keep it down if you choose. And we'll draw the right hand up into the sky either way. Taking a twist, looking to your top hand. Here we're sweeping the arm back and down, planting the palms and stepping back into our downward dog. So let's take our bend back into both knees. Press the belly back to the thighs, and we'll draw from here the left heel up into the sky. Exhale, turn the belly on, knee toward the nose. Inhale, leg back up. Exhale, knee toward the nose. One last time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Looking this time to your left thumb, stepping forward, and both knees again are bent. So we're pushing down through both feet, keeping the eyes still for stability, arms through the midline into the air. So feel everything that's happening here. Maybe a little more length in the back leg. And invite yourself to take what's needed, staying high here, or turning the belly on and leaning forward. You might take that lean, but with a little bit of support with your hands on your front thigh. Last breath. We'll take the hands to the front thigh, a little step forward so you can lengthen out the front leg and connect the back heel to the ground. Keep that back leg nice and strong and stable. See how much length is willing to come into the front leg. Again, you're welcome to stay high here in this flat back variation, or start to fold your way down, inviting the spine to hang heavy over the front leg. Remember to keep your stability, fingers still touching the earth, or play with a little more challenge. Bending the back knee enough, you can reach back to interlace the fingers and then find that length again in the back leg. Keep your eyes nice and still here. And taking one more breath, feel the posture. Release your fingers. We're touching them down around the front foot. Stepping the back leg back far enough. We can connect the back knee down. So again, we're just really focused on the whole movement, how things feel different when we get there. Let's roll the shoulders back, broaden the chest. Even just that simple act alone of creating more openness, more length, the posture feels different. Feels a little easier, a little more spacious. And you can take this where you need to. Staying as you are, hands to the front thigh, fingers to the sky. Remember, we want to work with lifting the heart, lifting the gaze if you can. And if you want that added openness, fingers float back and down or interlace together behind you. One more breath. Make sure your neck stays nice and long, especially if you're gazing up. Tendency is just to kind of crunch the neck and lay the head back. Really lengthen through the neck. Use your eyes to look up too. And we'll bring the fingers back around the front foot. Back knee can stay down or back toes can tuck so the knee can lift. And we'll exhale the left hand to the sky. We'll sweep the arm back and down as you plant your palms, stepping back, downward facing dog. Taking our vinyasa here, bend the knees. Coming up and over our hurdle with the in-breath. You can certainly set your knees down or rock forward on your toes if it's part of your practice and lower down like a board. Exhale up into your back bend of choice. If you want to keep it gentle and low, take a little cobra here. If you feel like you want a high cobra or an upward dog, go ahead. We're going to stay for a couple extra breaths. Just work on focusing on where you are, ensuring it's where you feel you need to be. Just trusting that inner knowing. And take one last inhale. And exhale, back toward the ground. Pushing up and back, downward dog. I'm going to take our gaze forward and start moving toward the top of the mat. Take your time. Coming to flat back as you breathe in and folding forward as you breathe out. Let's push down to rise into our chair. Inhale, arms floating up. Exhale, bowing down. Coming all the way to stand. Push down into your full length. See what you need when you get there, be it a roll of your wrists, a reach through the sides, a shake of the hands, until you're ready to draw the arms back and down and rest them along your sides or together at your heart. Feel your body. Tune into the mind and emotions. See how you're feeling. Taking one more standing posture here, we're going to set the feet about just a little wider than your hips, about mat's width. Shake your hands. Just start with that ability to kind of let go. Feel that loosey-goosiness right up through the elbows, through the whole arms. See if you can get that kind of dangle happening right from the shoulders. And we'll start to twist over the right shoulder, lifting the back heel, and then over left shoulder, lifting right heel. So keep that loosey-goosey flow of your arms so they just start to swing around your body as you're twisting side to side. If it's too much to look over your shoulder, just keep a more still gaze forward. If you find it makes you dizzy or unstable, to be turning your gaze. course, if this isn't feeling right in your shoulders, to really invite the arms to be heavy, you might keep them bent at the elbows and just keep the arms in at your body. And we're just going to take maybe 2 more breaths. And begin to just slow down your movements. Take your time. So keeping that ability for us to be really easy and going with the flow, we're going to make our way down and towards Shavasana in that same way. So just as though I've pulled all the energy out of your body, not just from your arms, it's coming out of your core, out of your legs, everything's just melting down to the earth. You're going to let your body settle down however it needs to or wants to. It's not going to be in a perfect Shavasana. That's okay. We can get there after. Okay, so just take 1 more breath here. And then really invite yourself just to let go and trust the ground isn't far away. With as little effort as possible, you're coming down to the ground. When you get there, I want you just to notice, am I actually letting go? Am I actually totally at ease? Did I resist that journey to the ground? Did I assist myself instead of trusting that my body would comfortably get me there? So I want you just to take a moment and readjust yourself into Shavasana. If that's keeping your knees bent, feel free. Otherwise, it might be lengthening out both legs. Relaxing both arms alongside of you, getting lots of space between the limbs and the body. I want you to start feeling the ground under you and really giving into its support. The more you relax into the earth, the more relaxed you'll feel, not just in your physical body, but then your mind can also follow. So readjust where you need to. See if you can bring that much more ease and heaviness. Maybe you can still smell a little hint of rosemary lingering, assisting you in developing that true knowledge and true intellect. That ability to be really guided from a greater space of understanding. That challenge to look deeper than maybe you normally would and ask yourself more soul-searching questions here. And just allow yourself to stay open to any inspired answers. We're not always trying to answer these deep questions on our own. We're allowing ourselves to settle into that quiet space within us and receive the answers as they come. I hope this practice has allowed you to bring some expansion to your mind. It's allowed you to receive some new information and open you to new experiences. It's allowing you to feel more support in times of transition and change. It's reminded you that it's okay to not understand all things. And to know that finding trust in a higher, more intelligent power than yourself gives you that feeling of stability, that ease in your life. I hope this practice, and perhaps this oil if you've chosen to use it, has allowed you to root yourself in the true knowledge that surpasses all understanding. So stay here in this space as long as you need today. I thank you for practicing, for taking this time for yourself to continually expand and grow. Namaste.